Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great week. This week's Broker Minute is about agency, and this is just a quick reminder that agency for the consumer is a choice. I get a question all the time that say, "Hey, here's the situation. Should I go to dual agency? Should I go to designated? Should it be transaction brokerage?" And my answer is always going to be the same. What did the consumer want? And what that normally uncovers is we haven't had that discussion with them. So, as a quick reminder, if you jump to the agency disclosure form on the last page, it does remind us here that agency for the consumer is a choice. It says right here. And the consumer has three choices. The first one, they can choose to remain a customer, meaning, hey, I've met you, Mr. and Mrs. Agent, but I don't need your representation. I'm going to represent myself. And this is going to either be with or without a transaction brokerage agreement. As we all know, in the state of South Carolina, if they do not sign an agency agreement, they do not have representation, it by default goes to transaction brokerage. However, having a transaction brokerage agreement is a much cleaner way to go because it is a full disclosure that A, you do not represent them, and B, that will not be paying should you put that in there. The second one they can do is they can choose to hire the brokerage firm to represent them through a written agency agreement. As we all know, that written agency agreement is going to be in the form of a buyer's agency agreement or a listing agreement. Doesn't typically happen a whole lot on the seller side unless you're working with a for sale by owner or there happen to be an off-market property that your buyers found. But typically what will happen is if you have a situation where there's a sign call, someone comes into your open house, they want to purchase the property, but they don't want you to represent them. And then the third one is going to be after they've chosen that they do want to be represented. If they are represented by a brokerage firm, they then get to choose here on the third spot whether or not they want to move forward under shared agent services of dual agency or designated agency. So those are the three options that they have there. This is just a quick reminder that it is not something that you decide whether or not it's a better situation. It is what the consumer wants. Now, quick side note, that doesn't mean you can't have a team policy or an office policy that states that you do not represent buyers that will come in on your own listing, and you could either have them be in transaction brokerage agreement or you could have them go be represented by someone else. But just again, at the end of the day, remember, if you've explained the agency brochure to them, the agency's law disclosure, they know what their options are. They choose their options accordingly. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Hope you're having a great day. Call me if you have any questions. Take care.